Cubs are back home. It's a 6-game, 7-day homestand. It won't be easy. The Nationals and the Royals will provide the opponent. It's a Hyundai leadoff man on WGN. And welcome. Memorial Day action here at Wrigley Field. Jim DeShays and Len Casper. Let's get right into the starting pitching matchup. Tanner Roark will make his first start of the year coming out of the bullpen, and Tsuyoshi Wada, the lefty for the Cubs.
How deep is the National starting pitching when Tanner Roark had to be pushed to the bullpen? A 15-game winner last year, 2.85 ERA, but with the addition of Scherzer, he moved to the bullpen. Fisher hurt. He gets a start today. Wada has made one start for the Cubs. It came against the Padres, and it was dominant. 4 2/3, punched out 9, including 7 of the first 9 men he faced.
Cubs 24-19. The Nationals leading the National League East 2.5 games up on New York. And when we come back, we'll get the Cubs minor league report, an update on Javier Baez. Stay with us. Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers who invite you to test drive our award-winning lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com. Welcome back to Wrigley Field, a Memorial Day matinee as the Cubs host the Washington Nationals. Javier Baez sizzling hot at AAA Iowa. And let's get the update on the Cubs' top affiliate from our good friend Randy Wayhofer.
Through the first quarter of the season, the Cubs have been battling to hover around the 500 mark while dealing with an ever-changing roster. Already the team has made over 60 transactions this year, including some key players already called up to the big leagues. Good starting pitching is a key to any team's success, and the iCubs rotation has contributed an ERA under 3 for the month of May here in the hitter-friendly Pacific Coast League. Don Roach is 5-0 with a 1.97 earned run average and 8 starts this year. Headed into this holiday weekend, he's tied for the league lead in wins and is among the top 3 in ERA. He does it with a steady combination of pitches that produce a lot of ground ball outs and is really happy with the work of the guys playing behind him.
I played against them for the last couple of years, and they're pretty good. So, I wasn't too worried about that, about them making plays. I was actually pretty happy coming here knowing that I'd have those guys behind me. Like most ground ball pitchers, throw a sinker. This is my main pitch. Off that, I'll throw my curveball, and then splitter if I need a punch out.
Carlos Pimentel has also been a hot pitcher of late. After a couple of tough starts to begin the year, he had a streak of 19 consecutive scoreless innings over 4 starts from May 5th through the 22nd. In his second season with the iCubs, Pimentel credits a mental adjustment to his recent run of success.
I don't think when I'm in the mound. That way I just pitch and take the ball and pitch and don't let the hitter think.
On the offensive side, Javi Baez is getting settled in after a late start to the season. He missed the first 3 weeks of the year to be with his family after the passing of his sister. Baez has his average around 300 thanks to a recent 7-game hitting streak that included 4 multi-hit games. His strikeout rate is down from a year ago, and he's concentrating on applying the lessons he learned from his struggles in the big leagues last year.
I think, first of all, baseball is 90% mental, and I learned how to deal with it and how to work with my mind. And I think it don't matter, no matter what happens today, you got to come back tomorrow and do the same thing.
In his first season at AAA, John Andrioli has been a key part of the Iowa offense at the plate and on the bases. He has shown a disciplined approach at the plate, leading the team in walks and on-base percentage, and his all-out approach in the outfield is fun to watch. When he's on base, his speed has already produced 15 stolen bases, and he knows that's a way he can help the I-Cubs score runs.
Whenever you put pressure on defenses, it makes a lot of things happen. And, whenever you get in scoring position, your team's going to score a lot of runs. So just both those things together.
There's plenty of other talent up and down this Iowa Cubs roster, and lots of baseball left this season. I'm sure fans will see more players from our team head to Chicago to help the Cubs battle in the National League Central. For the Iowa Cubs, I'm Randy Wayhofer.
Thanks, Randy. And you see what Baez has done so far this year, and a couple of homers yesterday versus Tacoma. We have Cubs baseball coming up from beautiful Wrigley Field here on WGN. We invite you to test drive our award-winning lineup today. Visit buyhyundai.com. Back here at Wrigley Field, Memorial Day, both teams will be wearing the special uniforms as we honor and remember those who have sacrificed their lives in service of our country. And we take a look ahead at the Cubs' upcoming schedule. A lot of the Washington Nationals here these next 2 weeks. 7 times they will match up in the next 13 games. The defending American League champion Kansas City Royals come in for the weekend starting on Friday. Let's send it over to Andy Bellison, the Wrigley Field public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and kindly remove your caps as this afternoon's colors are presented by the Illinois Army National Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the team during today's national anthem is Edward Seufer. Ed was a highly decorated officer in the United States Army during World War II, serving in England, France, and Germany, and has been awarded 2 Purple Hearts. Ed, we thank you for your service on this Memorial Day. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing and join Wayne Messmer as he honors our nation with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
nice day here at Wrigley Field. It's Memorial Day and a Cubs matinee on WGN Sports, opening up a week-long stay. It won't be an easy week. The Nationals are here, followed by the Kansas City Royals, and today it's all about youth. 22-year-old Bryce Harper from Las Vegas. 23-year-old Chris Bryant, also from Las Vegas. Both off to excellent starts, JD.
I haven't seen this much talent come out of Vegas since Carrot Top. Bryce Harper, the 2012 Rookie of the Year. Could this be Chris Bryant's year to win that award?
They're both in their respective lineups today. A couple of teams over 500 with playoff aspirations. The Nationals and the Cubs on Memorial Day. Next. For what? Lime, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Honda Dream Garage Sales event. Now it's your Honda dealer. Napa, home of Napa know-how. Ford, America's best-selling brand, inviting you to go further in our fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Subway, make a smart play for savory subs this season. Score more flavor at Subway restaurants. Subway, eat fresh. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Let's get Matt Williams' Nationals starting lineup. They got off to a terrible start. They've been basically the best team in baseball over their last 24 games, 19-5, and they lead the league in runs scored. Span, Desmond, Escobar at the top. Harper, Zimmerman, and Ramos in the middle. Espinoza, Taylor, and Roark at the bottom.
Check on the Cubs defensively here this afternoon. Chris Coughlin in left, Dexter Fowler center, Jorge Soler man's right field, infield third to first. We'll go Bryant, Castro, Russell, Rizzo. David Ross gets a starting assignment with someone other than John Lester for the first time this year. That someone is left-hander Shoshi Iwata, making his second start. Boy, was his first one ever impressive. Wednesday against the Padres, a no decision, but 4 2/3 of dominant pitching. Struck out 9, walked 1, allowed 4 hits and 2 runs.
Ryan Blackney gets home plate. Mike DeMuro at first. Hunter Wendelstedt's the crew chief at second, and Bob Davidson. Buck and Bob over at third. And both teams and even the umpires, it looks like, getting into the spirit. The Camo Stars and Stripes theme here on Memorial Day. And we are underway. Strike called. From Wada to Span.
Span the igniter at the top of the batting order here. .355 on base percentage.
Going outside. They've got some injuries, the Nationals, which we will chronicle as we move along today. But after their 7-13 start, they've gone 19-5, and they've won 8 consecutive series.
Yeah, the run scoring has been most impressive. Everybody, just about everybody, picking the Nationals to win the National League East this year because of their starting pitching. Their starting pitching has been just kind of so-so, but the offense has been lights out.
In the inside corner, fastball at 88. And it's 2-2. Ian Desmond on deck, and then Yunel Escobar. Second start for Wada. And his first Wrigley Field start came last year on July 23rd. He lost that, and that is crushed to deep right, and it's going to be a leadoff home run as Span basically hit his batting average on the board in right. It's 1-0. I guess he wanted to remind people he's hitting .316.
Yeah, what a turnaround. Wada's last start, he struck out the side in the first inning. He's a fly ball pitcher. The wind is blowing out today. This ball did not need any help. Not a lot on that pitch. Belly button high, and Span hits his 4th home run of the year.
And that average going up 6 points. Ian Desmond, the shortstop. That ball deflected by Wada, and he'll throw to first late. Infield hit. Ian Desmond.
Wada finishes in good fielding position, just can't snag that comebacker. Desmond on with an infield hit.
We'll bring up Escobar. Anthony Rendon is on the disabled list. So is Jason Worth. And Escobar has been terrific. He swings away and sends one down the right field line. Soler is over, and he's got it! What a catch by Soler in foul territory. Gets really tricky behind that bullpen mound, and fortunately he's all right. What a play.
Yeah, great concentration, and then the willingness to kind of give up the body there, leaning forward, tumbling so close to that wall. Boy, dangerous. Lucky he's able to hit the brakes before going head first into the wall.
So helping out his pitcher get a big first out ahead of Bryce Harper, who's putting together an MVP campaign here early on. Leads the majors in runs, RBIs, walks, on base percentage, slugging, and OPS.
Yeah, he has been unbelievably good, and obviously a very skilled player. We've known all about it, and he's been good, but he hasn't been this good in the past. He's really coming into his own.
In his last 16 games, and he's had a couple of ejections here these last couple of weeks. .491 with 11 homers and 26 knocked in. And a ball and a strike on Harper. 72 degrees, and the wind blowing straight out to center. Out of the southwest at 12 miles an hour. And it's 1-2.
Well, let's take a look at our Gander Mountain game time weather. Indeed, warm, breezy, and muggy. Hopefully no more rain before the end of the day. Brought to you by Gander Mountain. Low price every day, guaranteed.
There's some clouds in the area. The lights are on. We should have warm weather for most of this week. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
number of the strikeouts for Wada in that last start were of the looking variety. And saw a lot of that from Padre hitters, just not able to pull the trigger on his fastball, especially first time through the order. He's got that deceptive delivery, kind of a short stroke with his pitching delivery, and that fastball, even though it's 89, 90, sometimes 91, gets on the hitters much more quickly than they anticipate.
Here's Zimmerman, natural third baseman, now playing first. Won a Gold Glove at third back in 2009, but the last few years had some shoulder and throwing issues. Played a little left, and now entrenched at first. The pitch off the plate inside.
National slug, they're third in the league in slugging percentage, fourth in on base, third in home runs. They don't steal a lot of bases. Just 11 steals, and they've been caught 9 times, so that's not part of the program for Matt Williams and his group.
Williams won the Manager of the Year award in his first season as their skipper last year. They were the division champs for the second time in 3 years, but another quick playoff exit. And the 1-1 misses, 2 balls and a strike on Zimmerman. It's Desmond, he's at first. Span hit a leadoff home run. And the 2-1 on the way, fouled back.
Span hit the leadoff. Zimmerman, his forte is the walk-off, the game-winning home run. He's done it 10 times in his career. Third best in National League history behind Stan Musial and Tony Perez.
Well, you know the good news is he won't hit any in this series.
He cannot hit a walk-off home run here.
I should add, unless he gets traded to the Cubs before Wednesday, which is unlikely. 3-2.
So what you're saying is if he's gotten that bat in the 9th here, you can pitch aggressively to him. But next week in Washington, you got to pitch around him.
More careful. Desmond takes off. Zimmerman bounces to Castro. And the inning comes to an end. Span with the leadoff home run. So it's the Nationals 1. The Cubs coming up. Soler with a great play on defense. 'Cause I'm coming home again. By Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And let's check out the Cubs batting order. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Fowler and Bryant and Rizzo 1, 2, and 3. Castro, Soler, and Coghlan occupy the middle. Coghlan with another home run yesterday. Ross, as JD mentioned, catching somebody other than John Lester. Tsuyoshi Wada in the 8th spot, and Addison Russell back in the lineup hitting 9th.
Let's place the Nationals defensively. They've made 35 errors, as have the Cubs, and only the Milwaukee Brewers have made more in the National League. Anyway, it's Taylor, Span, and Harper. Good speed out there in the outfield. Escobar, Desmond, Espinosa, Zimmerman on the infield. Desmond has had some issues. He's made 12 errors. Wilson Ramos behind the plate. Tanner Roark, a local guy, on the hill for the Nationals here today.
Dexter Fowler. Strike one.
Well, Tanner has worked exclusively out of the bullpen this year. No wins, couple of losses, a 2.66 ERA. Made 13 appearances.
He's from Wilmington, Illinois, 60 miles southwest of Chicago. Went to the University of Illinois. Had to leave the team after a sophomore season due to academic reasons. He did lead Wilmington to 2 Illinois State baseball championships, and quickly off the mound to get Fowler. Got a lot of family and friends at the ballpark today. It sounds like he moved to the bullpen without any sort of issues or arguments, and has kind of done whatever they've asked, getting a spot start for Doug Fister today. Here's Silk. Chris Bryant. Bryce Harper told reporters this morning that's what he called Bryant when they were kids in Vegas, because everything he did was smooth. I think we have our nickname for Mr. Bryant.
KB, yeah.
Drilled into deep left. Gone! Little top spinner, but it got over the basket into the front row. And we're tied at 1. Number 6 for Bryant.
Well, he got one on the first game of the last homestand as well. Roark throws a little cement mixer slider. That one just didn't take the break. But it took the brunt of the barrel of Chris Bryant. And we are tied. That's a nice, silky, smooth swing.
Well, these two teams have been hitting a lot of home runs. That's the 28th for the Cubs here in May. The Nationals have 29. So they're among the National League leaders this month. Milwaukee came into the day with 28.
For the year, the Cubs 4th in the National League in long balls. Change up. Good one.
Swing and a miss.
Let's check out our Southwest Airlines. How far did it fly? The distance of this home run, 374 silky feet. Go to WGNTV.com/contest for your chance at one of 5 pairs of tickets anywhere Southwest Airlines flies in the United States or Puerto Rico. What did I miss? I heard an ooh and an ah when I was reading that promo.
He's been off the plate. Okay. That ball is caught by Ramos to get Rizzo.
Yeah, could be a hitter's day here today. Now Roark, he throws 4 pitches, 2 and a 4-seam fastball, slider, change, and a curve. He's been using his 2-seamer a lot more this year. That may be because he's been working out of the pen. Because of it, he's been getting a lot more balls on the ground. That approach would serve him well on a day like today. Anywhere from 90 to 96 with the fastball.
The 0-1 to Starlin Castro, hit on the ground toward the hole. It's short. Desmond backhands, off balance throw, out at first, and the inning is over. So Span led off the top of the first with a long homer to right. Chris Bryant, second batter. Roark faced into the bleachers in left center. 1-1.
Log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you watch from home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape. Pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Everything you need to have more fun at home this summer.
Second inning, and the catcher Wilson Ramos fouls away. Recently had a 19-game hitting streak, career best, but he's 0 for his last 12 to knock his batting average under 300. Comes in at 286. Big holiday crowd today. Got the bunting hanging off the upper deck. Just feels right. Matinee here on Memorial Day. Bounce right to Russell. So I guess the Addison Russell connection is we were in Washington, D.C. last July. The 4th of July, right? When Russell was acquired from Oakland.
Back in the day, holidays meant doubleheaders.
Yeah, not anymore, unless it's a makeup. Yeah, the trade was actually July 5th, but it was that holiday weekend last year when Cubs dealt Samardzija Hamill to Oakland. Many Cub fans knew who Addison Russell was at that time.
So I started Googling him, and I said, wow, this kid can play.
Quickly found out. Espinosa's a switch hitter. He's a plus defender at second. One ball, one strike. Espinosa, I think, is a guy who can grow a full beard in about 2 days.
Apparently.
He's got a little bit of a different look than he had previously. He was going for that Deadwood.
Little Yosemite Sam thing going on.
He did. DeMuro said so at first.
Hey, Cub fans, let's go. Don't miss all the excitement this season here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs continue their series with the Nationals. 6:05 tomorrow, 7:05 on Wednesday. Make sure you plan ahead. Go to Cubs.com and get your tickets today.
Zimmerman and Hendricks tomorrow. Scherzer and Lester on Wednesday. Sharply hit ground ball, smothered by Russell, throw to first, out, they got him!
Who makes that play?
Addison Russell does. Michael Taylor robbed of a base hit. 1-1.
going to get a good look here from behind home plate. A bit for a base hit up the middle. Addison Russell, great break on it. Up to his feet quickly. Good strong throw to get a very speedy Taylor going down the first baseline. Mazda conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way.
Two stellar defensive plays behind Wada. Soler and Russell. And here's Jorge Soler leading off the bottom of the second in a 1-1 tie. Sunday, his 15th game of at least 2 hits out of the first 43. He's been an Iron Man. And that's good to see because they really protected him when he came up to the big leagues last year with the previous leg issues. I'll give some kudos to Tim Buss, Cubs strength and conditioning coach. Going outside. We should probably give kudos to Bussy no matter what anyway.
Yeah. For any number of reasons.
Yeah. Fouled out of play. Cubs went 6-1 on their previous homestand.
Yeah, well, it was the first place New York Mets team that came to town. The Cubs swept a 4-game set. Now the Nationals are in first place in the East. Let's hoping that the Cubs can do similar damage to the Nats.
Ground ball to Espinosa. 1 away. I'll bring up Chris Coghlan, who's 5 out of 10 against Roark. Yesterday hit his 3rd homer of last week. He's got 7 now in the season. Outside, ball 1. Change up away. Roark working quickly. That's a strike.
The Nationals have said shooting for about 70 pitches from Roark here this afternoon. He obviously would like staying a little longer than that. Well, if he's going along nicely, they may extend him a little bit.
Fister has right forearm tightness. That's why he's on the DL. Pitch. And that one missed. I'll tell you, Steven Strasburg, you almost do a double take. You see how much he has struggled. We will not see him in this particular series. Strasburg has a 6.50 ERA through his first 9 starts.
Right, so if you were to ask me, Strasburg's got a 650. Anthony Rendon has not had an at-bat this year. Jason Worth has played in 27 games. He's hitting a little over 200 when he has been healthy. Where do you think the Nationals would be in the standings? I would say, well, probably not in first place. There's a lot of depth on this club.
Yeah, no doubt.
Of course, Bryce Harper's put the boys on his back and said, let's go. And he's been the best player in baseball. April 27th, the Nationals were 7-13.
Yeah, the next day was April 28th, and you remember what they did that day?
Yeah, it was a big.
They were down 10-1 in Atlanta and came back to win 13-12.
And they scored 13 the next day. 19-5 over the last 24.
walked him. Well, there was maybe an assumption around baseball when they signed Scherzer, because they had 6 legitimate starting pitchers, that they were going to make a trade. But got to give Mike Rizzo credit for not immediately dealing somebody, because as you can see, they've needed that depth.
Yeah, that 6.50 ERA for Strasburg, second worst in the National League, better only than Kyle Kendrick. He's got a 6.58 for the Rockies. This is among pitchers with enough innings to qualify.
Now David Ross. Foul tips for strike 1. I'd imagine we'll see Ross making 2 starts in this series, with John Lester taking the ball on Wednesday. He's trying to give Miguel Montero some rest. There's Max Scherzer, who will go against Lester on Wednesday. Popped into right. Harper makes the play. Hey, Cub fans, make sure you check out Len and JD's baseball blog at WGNTV.com. It's sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 37 years. To join the nation, contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Wada 0 for 1, but a walk and his first career run scored in his last start, which was his major league debut this season. And he went from first to home on the Dexter Fowler triple. Takes a strike. I was in the process of mentioning Wada on the mound here at Wrigley before the Span home run. He lost his first Wrigley start last year, July 23rd, but 7 unbeaten outings here since. 4-0 with a 2.06. And that will be caught. Wow. What defense today we've seen from both teams. That's Michael Taylor, the guy who hit the ground ball that Russell was able to run down.
Talk about full extension.
What a play. Or Wada play. 1-1.
Here in the early innings of this ball game, Soler arranging and diving to make a play. Addison Russell on Michael Taylor, spectacular. And Michael Taylor, who is a really well-regarded defensive outfielder, getting it done for the Nationals, taking away a base hit, maybe 2 bases from Wada. Pretty play. The Speed Replay is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Nice landing, too. bonus points.
Yeah, we played 2 innings. And we've already seen 3 fantastic defensive plays. And with a wind blowing straight out, you know these pitchers appreciate it. Although I'm sure Wada didn't appreciate that Taylor catch since he hit it. Here's Roark, 147 in his career, 0 for 3 so far this season. Ball 1. Water replacing Travis Wood in the Cubs rotation. Wood now in the bullpen. For Wada. This season at Wrigley Field, the Cubs will feature Budweiser Bleacher Fridays, starting with the Beach Bash this Friday, May 29th. All Bleacher fans 21 and older will get a pair of summer sunglasses for the game while enjoying special entertainment, music, concessions, and a beach-themed post-game party here in Wrigleyville. Visit Cubs.com. Official start of summer. Ball 1 on Span.
Good pitch.
He missed the first 12 games of the season on the DL after core muscle surgery. And he homered to start this one today. His 9th career leadoff home run. And his 2nd this season. Sliders popped up. And Bryant does not have a play.
I think it should be a rule that any hitter who hits a home run to lead off the game has to run around the bases doing a Ricky Henderson impersonation. The home run trot, picking at the jersey.
Ricky, the all-time leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
By far.
Yeah.
Span has an open stance. Kind of interesting how his toe is kind of pointed at the catcher, that front foot, as he gets ready to hit.
Yeah,
kicks that heel out.
So that's really funky. Just some kind of a trigger for him that helps him stay back, and ultimately he gets into a more conventional position in the box. He strides.
Lined to Coghlan. Hashtag WGN Cubs. If you'd like to send us a Cubs selfie, we may include it in our fan cam a little later today. Desmond with an infield single his first time up to extend his hitting streak to 10. 3 consecutive 20 homer campaigns coming into this year. real patient guy. I would not call him a prototypical number 2 hitter. But he's got some pop. So with Worth and Rendon healthy, kind of putting you in the spot. Where would you hit Harper?
3rd.
You were the man. Put him in a 3 spot.
2 or 3. I'd probably go Span, Rendon, Harper, Worth, Zimmerman, something like that.
So Desmond then kind of becomes a 6 or a 7. Yeah. That really extends your lineup.
Yeah. I mean, Ramos can swing it. Espinosa has got a little pop down near the bottom of the order. It's a deep lineup.
Three and 2 the count.
And and Escobar's done a heck of a job too, going for a high average.
Strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Desmond will have a word with Blackney. 1-1.
The hard way is Buds for you. 4-1, throw a burger on the grill, watch a little hardball. It's a good day.
Strike 1 on Addison Russell. Line foul the other way. He was off yesterday for only the 2nd time since coming to the big leagues. Fowler and Bryant also here in the 3rd. A little high that time. He struck him out looking. Is number 1 for Roark. And check out the Legends Suite located on the new Bean Investment Suite level. Watch the game with a former Cub and listen to classic stories about life as a Cub with a luxury food and beverage package and a unique gift for each guest. The Legends Suite is the most exclusive way to watch a Cubs game. For more info, visit Cubs.com/suites. Fowler grounded to the pitcher in the first inning. Escobar pulled in at third. Ball one. Dexter 4 for his last 26 over his last 8 games, including the 0 for 1 today, but 6 walks, a triple, and 2 home runs. And he elevates out in the deep right center, but it's going to be playable as Harper on the move grabs it on the warning track for the out.
Pretty good contact there by Fowler. Just hung up too long, and Harper able to run underneath it. It's a really good defensive outfield the Nationals are running out there these days. Harper, Span, and Taylor. Hitting in the seats like Chris Bryant did last time. Doesn't matter how good the outfielders are. Ooh, that was bold, wasn't it? It's Roark's game. He's aggressive. This is what happened first time. And so many times when you see the batter come up for the second time after a home run, it's breaking ball, nibble, nibble, nibble.
And an infield hit as Desmond tried to barehand it, with Bryant hustling down that line. And I know who has enjoyed watching Bryant here early on with his 2 for 2, his former coach of the Southern Nevada Bulldogs when Chris Bryant was 14, Bryce Harper 13. Matt Lawrence coached them both and had surgery last week. Matt is watching today, and we hope for a very quick recovery for you, Matt.
I'm guessing Matt had a pretty good one-loss record.
Yeah,
with those guys. I'm not so sure that Desmond didn't have a play with the glove there. It wasn't going to be an easy play either way. Bryant going down the line.
Cubs have 2 hits, both belonging to Bryant.
Showing his versatility, isn't he? Gets one into the seats and then an infield single. 5 out of 6 in the stolen base department. Roark pretty quick to home plate. Not an easy mark if you're trying to steal a base. The last thing you want to do on a day like today is make an out on the bases with a home run hitter in the batter's box.
That is in there. It's 2-1. A lot of other day action around baseball. And already a couple of blowouts. The Yankees 12-1 over the Royals at the end of 5 in the Bronx. Minnesota leading Boston in Minneapolis 7-0. The bottom of the second.
Do you pay attention to certain teams or certain divisions, like in the cyclical nature, or do you just pay attention to all of them?
Well, I mean, I think I would start with the Cubs division, but beyond that,
well, the outside.
I just kind of generally watch. I try to watch the American League a little more, just because we see the National League so much.
I'll tell you why I asked.
Okay.
Secondly, so I'm looking at the standings page here.
Yeah.
In the stat pack, the Yankees had only won 1 of their last 10 and had lost 6 in a row. I did not know that.
Yeah, they've been scuffling.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Tampa Bay has moved ahead of them.
Yeah, the whole American League East all within 4.5. Jeremy Guthrie of the Royals today, 1 inning, 11 runs on 9 hits.
That's no fun. That's no way to celebrate Memorial Day.
Joe Kelly, 7 runs in an inning and 2/3.
Red Sox are starting to play a little better.
He goes as Rizzo lines to deep right. Harper with a leap and the catch. As he banged into the wall, maybe grabbing his lower back. But another fine defensive play here today. Still 1-1.
The first 5,000 kids at the ballpark will receive a Clark W. Flag bobblehead presented by Jewel Osco. After the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will have a chance to run the bases. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
Escobar takes a strike. He played for Joe Madden last year at Tampa Bay, and he's the only national at previous at-bats against Wada. Going into this one, ground ball backhanded by Castro, and he gets it. Harper had his hand behind his back. I thought maybe it was his back. It actually was his right hand after banging into the wall, kind of shaking it off. He made that play look easier than it was, for sure.
He created a little bit of a problem for himself. He broke in a step or two, but that ball was hit on a line, and heck of a play to retreat, make the play. I don't know if maybe he jammed his wrist a little bit on the wall, or maybe just got poked by the ivy.
Line shot into right.
Watch him go.
He's thinking 2. Well, he had a good scouting report on Jorge Soler.
Yeah, and we've got a good scouting report on Bryce Harper too, playing much more under control this year. That was the one knock on him. You know, a young player, a brash player, very aggressive player. Sometimes a reckless player would run into outs and make mistakes in the field, but he's kind of calmed things down now and just become an overall really good player. Another extra base hit for him. So, you know, he gives himself a chance. That's the key. Go hard out of the box, tight turn at first. Always thinking about taking the extra base, force the defense to shut you down.
Go ahead, run in scoring position for Zimmerman. Fastball close, didn't get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't call it a pitcher's zone here today. I mean, there's been a couple off the plate called. I feel like Wada's gotten pinched a little bit. Maybe it's the camera angle.
Got that one. Okay, so Chris Davis of the Brewers hit a home run against the Giants earlier today. He was called out for missing home plate. The Brewers challenged and won the challenge, so he did hit home plate. And he's just homered again.
Wow. I wonder how you miss home plate.
By not stepping on it?
Yeah. I mean, how does that happen? It's not like they camouflage it.
Well, the other thing is, on replay they showed apparently that he did. So how would you make the call that he didn't?
I don't know.
Well, we're not watching that game, so we'll wait till we actually see it before commenting further.
If I'm an umpire, there has to be abundant evidence that he missed home plate if I'm going to call him out on a home run.
You have all the bases to miss. That would be the one you wouldn't want to miss. 3-2 now on Zimmerman.
Zimmerman has really good power to the middle of the field. So Wada, probably 2 places he would contemplate going here with Zimmerman. Cutting action fastball in on the hands, or maybe a changeup down and away. I think they're going to go with plan B here. Tried the change. I don't think he ever got the grip. Didn't look comfortable as he was digging in his glove to find the grip of his changeup.
Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. And I did confirm with Tsuyoshi the other day, depending on what website you look at. Some people say he throws a fork ball or a split. He does not. It is a circle change. He does manipulate it occasionally by taking his, I believe, middle finger off the ball.
Kind of a sporky.
The spork ball.
So would it be kind of like this? Well, this is a circle change.
Right.
And the split is here.
Yep.
But he's kind of in between, like the circle.
He does a regular change, and then he'll take the middle finger
right,
off to maybe manipulate it.
Like that.
Yep.
Can I do that on TV?
Yeah, you just did.
Okay.
Rizzo makes a basket catch. Bryce Harper will tag and head to third. Another excellent defensive play. This has been a clinic today.
A lot of little red stars going into my scorebook to note this great defense.
You know how this game's going to be decided, right? By an error.
You're dead on.
You know it's coming.
Now, there's a whole lot to think about if you're Anthony Rizzo on this play to contend with. Sun, wind, bullpen, tarpaulin, fans. And at the end of the day, he hauls it in. And good base running by Harper to tag in advance.
First and third with two gone, and it's Espinosa. One ball, no strikes. Jose Reyes has been activated from the Blue Jays DL.
They'd be in great shape if he were a pitcher. They need pitching. They've got plenty of offense.
He had a cracked left rib. Two 2-0 Taylor on deck.
Espinosa came into this game batting .375 against left-handed pitching. He's a switch hitter, so this has been his best side. Not as sharp here this afternoon as he was in his start against the Padres. And he was so good in that one. It'd be difficult to be as good today as he was against San Diego. And I don't know if it's just wind blowing out, a little more cautious, or just not having the feel for his pitches. So far, he's only allowed the one run.
And they're loaded. A couple of walks this inning. Is Taylor, who a really hard ground ball up the middle his first time up. It was flagged down by Addison Russell, got up quickly and threw him out. Went into this season the Nationals' #2 prospect, according to Baseball America. Earlier this month, he hit a go-ahead grand slam in the 9th inning at Arizona after Bryce Harper had been ejected. No batting gloves, a 1-0 pitch.
That's how good Harper was going. He even knew when to get ejected.
Wanda needs to come up with a pitch here. Down 2-0 with the bases loaded, and Chris Bosio will head out to the mound. Now Matsumoto will also come out and interpret.
We're talking about this run that the Nationals have been on after that sluggish start. The offense has really turned things around. You see the numbers: 19-5, almost 6 runs per game. Best in the big leagues in just about everything. And again, it's Not a whole lot of Worth. No Rendon. A whole lot of Harper.
I want to send out happy 68th birthday wishes to Joe Quasney. Happy 40th anniversary, Joe and Kathy Quasney. And happy 8th to Carlos Goodman Jr. today. 2-0 on Taylor. Big pitch for Wada. Here it is. It's a strike. Spazio said throw a strike, and he did.
Good idea, coach. I'll throw a quality strike. And that's the other part of it. I talked about Wada not being quite as sharp today, but it has not been a pitcher's zone. He's not a power guy, so he doesn't want to throw many pitches over the heart of the plate. He's trying to work the corners with his fastball and his changeup, and he's just not getting a whole lot of leeway from Ryan Blackney back there.
Three and two.
Pitcher wins and losses. A lot of times determined in innings just like this one. Can you get out of this jam? Avoid the crisis?
Runners go with 2 outs. He struck him out swinging to get out of it. A double, 2 walks, no runs. And we're still tied at 1. Castro, Soler, Coughlin due up.
MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
One tie. It's been pretty exciting, hasn't it? Here early on with all the defense.
Yeah, a couple of long balls, some sparkling defense. A lot of working out of a big jam.
Rourke and Castro matching up. And the ground ball to Desmond. This Wednesday, May 27th, the Cubs will host these Nationals at 7:05. First 10,000 in attendance will get a Cubs hat presented by Concord Cancer Foundation. To purchase seats, it's Cubs.com. All right, you ready for this note on the Mariners and the Rays tonight? Roenis Elias and Jake Odorizzi on the mound. This will be the first time ever two major league managers have matched up, both who played in the Little League World Series. Lloyd McClendon and Kevin Cash.
I did not know that.
I remember legendary Lloyd.
Yeah.
Ground ball in the center for Soler.
Soler's trending upward these days. Had a nice road trip. Yeah, legendary. Like 5 home runs on 5 swings. Little League World Series back in the day from McClendon. And then I think they walked him every other at bat.
Coghlan walked his first time up. And ball 1 on Coghlan.
Mentioned it earlier, Roark using that 2-seam fastball more this year than last. Hitting a lot of ground balls, and that's what he's thinking here with Coghlan up and a man on first.
Has consistently been blowing straight out to center since we started. We had some rain this morning. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw to second. He's going to be out by a mile. A little hit and run that didn't work out. And 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, if you don't put the ball in play here, you're in trouble because Roark is really quick to home. Ramos throws well. He doesn't get high marks for his receiving skills, but he does throw well. Coghlan comes up empty and Soler an easy out.
Swung over the changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Roark has been efficient. He wanted to work deep into this game. You mentioned about 70-75 pitches. He'd like to go more than that. Getting pretty quick outs is not hurting his cause. Two and 2. Aren't too many 15-game winners who get put in the bullpen the following year, are there?
And it wasn't like he was a lucky 15-game winner. He had a 285 earned run average. And you've seen those guys have those years where you're kind of scratching your head. That guy won 15 games, 495 or something like that. But he was outstanding.
And if you are, you become a closer, right?
Right.
You don't join middle relief. Well, grab something in your Cubs gift shop on your way out of the ballpark today. 1-1 Nationals and Cubs. The Curious Bank. Nice relaxing holiday afternoon at the ballpark. Called strike on Roark. We'll have to find Tanner here tomorrow, the next day. We've been told since he got to the big leagues that he pronounces it Roark. As Bryant can't get it, and it trickles past Castro. Although I'm getting tweets from people from Wilmington saying, I know his brother, I know the family, it's Roark. Which we assumed when he got here that's how he pronounced it. But
we were told Roark, and in their media guide it says Roark.
Yep. So I'll confirm with him. I know Wayne Fonts coached the Detroit Lions way back in the day. I think his brother went by Fontes. So it happens where you have family members who pronounce their names differently, the last name, depending on their preference. His Span gets down the bunt. It goes 1-3 on the sacrifice. And the go-ahead run is at second with one out. Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Budweiser. Still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Brett Eldridge, Chicago native, country star, big Cub fan. We'll sing the stretch.
Joe Theismann rhymes with Heisman.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I actually have a good story about your surname. Kicks away from Ross, and Roark's going to take third. It wasn't that stylish, but he got it done.
No, he's playing the whole game. He's a good athlete. And he's not expected to pitch deep into this ball game anyway, so Matt Williams isn't so much worried about the energy he is putting out there on the bases.
Infield will come in against Desmond. 1 ball, no strikes. One of my good friends, Jason, we're the same age. When you pitched, he thought your last name was pronounced Desahayas.
Desahayas. It's much more exotic, isn't it?
Here's a pitch, fouled back, 1-2.
Now normally this would be a go on contact situation, 1 out, man on third. With Roark. With Tanner down there at third, not sure how they'll play it. Bob Henley, the third base coach. Glenn Fry over at first. What a swing and miss changeup here. I'm going to get in on him.
2-2.
You know, my roots are French Canadian, and the way they pronounce it in Quebec is either Dahay or Daya. Daya. Because the guy that used to guard the door at Olympic Stadium, I got talking to him about it one day. He said, no, we don't say Deshays. They might say Dejai. That's kind of like the garbage, the trash. So you wouldn't want to say Dejai up there. You'd say Daya or Dahay.
He got him. For the second straight time, Desmond shaking his head as he walks back to the dugout.
In a situation where hitters got to make contact, he fails to make contact, and understandable that he didn't swing at this one. So this zone that has been fairly tight at times here this afternoon opens up at a very opportune time for Wada. Well, he caught a break there. Nice steal by David Ross.
Look at that. 10 of his 15 strikeouts here in these 2 starts have been called strike 3.
Yeah, he doesn't have swing and miss stuff, but he has fool you stuff, I guess. A lot of times they're looking at fastballs and it lulls them to sleep, and then gets that heater in there. Again, though, it's hard to fault Desmond for not offering it that one. talking with David Ross the other day about his approach in terms of game calling. And we saw the other day he had that little deal on his forearm where he had like a miniature scouting report. And I think he's wearing it again today. It's on his left arm. It's kind of like what quarterbacks wear, where they peel it to look at the play.
Yeah.
It's just some little crib notes. But he says, you know, once the game gets going, he likes to base his game calling on the reaction hitters have and the types of swings they're taking, whether they're vulnerable to down and in or chase soft stuff away, things of that nature. So he does refer to that scouting report, and a lot of it is just, you know, what are you going to do to start a hitter? How are you going to finish a hitter off? More of a hitter weakness chart, and then he uses the pitcher stuff in combination with that. I'm just referring to it right now. 2 strikes. Where do I go? What does the scouting report say? And then you know, he's been around a long time. He's got a world of experience, so he'll bring his own judgment to bear.
Runner at third, 2 outs, 2-2 on Escobar. Swing, and he just got a piece of it. Ross couldn't hang on to it. We'll do it again.
Got a piece of David too, yeah.
The left shoulder looked like. Escobar's been traded 5 times since 2010. Has been terrific for the Nationals here early on.
You know, plan was for Escobar to play a lot of second base. Rendon at third, and Espinosa would lose playing time. But Rendon's been hurt. Escobar has played third. David Ross one more time. Checks the report.
Right field, Soler coming over. And he makes the catch to end the inning. Waters done a nice job working out of a couple of jams. 1-1.
town for the weekend, off to Miami, and then right back at it with the Nationals in D.C. Ford, America's best-selling brand, inviting you to go further in our fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your Ford store or at localfordstores.com. The next road trip continues on to Detroit for a couple as well. Top-notch competition on the horizon.
David Ross leading off the fifth for the Cubs. First inning homers from Span and Bryant. The Nationals have had some chances since, but Tsuyoshi Wada's been able to work out of it. Ross, Wada, Russell here in the fifth. Cubs have won 9 of 13. They just went 3-3 on their NL West road trip. This is their best 43-game start since 2008. Cubs at 24-19. Last year they were 16-27.
And maybe I'm greedy, but it just feels like the Cubs should have came away with more on that last road trip.
Yeah, I would agree.
Came away some games, you know. And normally 500 on the road will get the job done. Take care of business at home. It'll be a nice combination for a winning season. Cardinals have been slipping of late. I've lost 6 of 10. Speaking of slipping, the Reds, man, they're in a free fall. They lost 8 in a row.
Cardinals hosting Arizona today.
I'll tell you what, I was impressed with that Arizona team, more so than I expected to be, position player wise. Pretty athletic group. Pollock kid can play. Goldschmidt, obviously, everybody knows about him. Shortstop was really good. Best I've seen this year defensively.
Yep.
The Reds trying to break that 8-game losing streak, are tied 4-4 at home with the Rockies.
Strike 3 called. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. One to one. Roar to Wada, ball one. So the Nationals have a Tanner, a Tyler, and a Taylor. They have a Taylor Jordan, a Michael Taylor, gets a little confusing.
Yeah, they got a pair of Zimmermans.
He got him. 3 strikeouts, all looking. Roark.
They've got a Roark and a Roark, all in the same guy.
They've got a Matt Grace, who we saw doing some stretching, left-handed pitcher in the bullpen, and I will call him Mark before the series is over.
When you started with the Tanner and the Taylor, I thought you were going with the all-occupation team there for a minute.
Zimmerman over near his dugout, and he reaches over, makes the catch, and that's it. Cubs go down very quietly in the 5th. 1-1. there's one reason that Harper and Bryant are smiling and Gallo isn't. You know what that is, right?
They're in the big leagues.
Yeah, they get major league per diem. Joey Gallo's at Double-A, but we'll see him in the big leagues at some point soon. He's in the Texas organization. He's hitting .337 so far for Frisco in the Texas League. Text Subway to 97999 right now for your chance to win 6 meals from the Simple 6 menu from Subway. Subway, eat fresh. Message and data rates may apply. 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes.
Bryce Harper with 16 home runs to lead the National League. Only one of those has come against left-handed pitching.
It's interesting with Wada's windup. It looks like there's a lot going on, but it also looks like he repeats those mechanics very well.
Yeah, he stays pretty solid, doesn't he? You don't see him drifting too much.
Russell makes the catch. Wind making those pop-ups a little more difficult today.
One thing as a pitcher you try to guard against is drifting too early towards home plate. You got to stay back over the rubber, gather yourself before delivering. Kind of a drop and drive delivery. I think that adds to the deception. Another solid performance for him, but it looks like his day is over.
Yeah, we had that first, second, third time through the order conversation the last time around, although pretty good here. The third time through, at least got halfway, and he'll leave in a 1-1 tie as Justin Grimm is on, and a nice hand for Wada. His curveball was particularly good.
Yeah, and he's been solid since coming off the DL. He's worked 8 times. He's not allowed any runs yet. No earned runs anyway. No runs, period. 6 2/3, 3 hits, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts. Muggy day today. Pitched through that jam in the 4th. Dangerous right-handed hitter coming up. The man decides to go to the power arm out of the pen.
What's the old adage? You'd rather get a guy out a batter too early than a batter too late. And Joe, I think, for the most part, with just about all of his starters, has kind of lived by that rule. And the numbers would indicate with Wada that's the most prudent way to go.
Most pitchers, the third time through the order, the batting average and the slugging percentage too, you tend to make more mistakes, give up more damage third time through the order. 90 pitchers or so is another indicator. If he's got a 3-run lead, Wada's still pitching probably, trying to get through this inning, but it's a 1-1 ball game and a guy with legitimate power coming up to hit.
Blake Treinen, the right-hander, up for the Nationals. Roark 66 pitches in through 5. Wada left at 83. Two and two the count on Ryan Zimmerman.
Bemused look on Zimmerman's face after that 96-mile-an-hour heater bounced up there.
We're a few minutes away from the national moment of silence around baseball here on Memorial Day. Two balls, two strikes.
2-2, and here comes a deuce.
It'll be picked up by Castro, and he gets it. Nice play. Got a little tricky there with the footwork. He didn't want to step on second. He was able to avoid the bag and make a strong throw. Just behind the bag here. I was talking with Chris Bryant when he made an error the other day. He actually stepped on third, and that could throw off your timing. Ramos, a catcher, 0 for 2.
Grounded to second, popped foul to first. Rizzo made a heck of a play over the shoulder on him.
Driven out in the deep right, way back. It's gone. Wilson Ramos has given the Nationals his second lead today. That's his third of the year.
We talked about the length in this Nationals lineup, the fact that they have dangerous hitters up and down the lineup. This is a fastball right over the heart of the plate. Closes up that front side, just shoots it the other way.
One ball, no strikes now on Espinosa. Turns around, bats lefty. Runs in the game, 3 solo homers. Span and Ramos for the Nationals, Bryant for the Cubs. Big foul pass. Nationals first base coach Tony Tarasco. Bob Henley or Don or whomever, as you mentioned, over at third. It's Bob.
It'd be fun if it was Don.
You had it as Glenn Fry at first, but it's Tony Tarasco. There's Bob Henley. We just saw Bob Brenly. Two and two. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. A home run by Ramos makes it 2-1 Nationals.
It's an unforgettable baseball experience this summer. First camp kicks off in Lake Forest on June 22nd. Sign up at Cubs.com/camps.
Matt Williams deciding Tanner Roark did exactly what he wanted. He is a pitcher of record after the Nationals just took the lead. 5 innings, 1 run allowed on the Bryant home run. So it's Blake Treinen here in the 6th.
Treinen, right-hander, on for the 17th time. 1 and 2 with a 368. He was on the shuttle last year. Numerous trips up and down from the minor leagues to the big club. He's got a big arm. High 90s fastball and a slider.
Strike 1 on Dexter Fowler. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Well, there's the scouting report for you. High 90s fastball and a slider. A couple of heaters and a good tight slider at 86 to finish off Dexter. .6'5", 230 from Wichita, Kansas. Big right-hander.
Bryant with 2 of the Cubs' 3 hits. He ended a 12-game hitting streak, going 0 for 4 yesterday. This is his 36th major league game as he bounces foul near the Cubs on deck circle. Starting the season series today, will end it in less than 2 weeks. All 7 games will be played here these couple of weeks, including 4 in D.C. on the next trip. Will not see Steven Strasburg in this series. Close, And Bryant held up. 2-2.
Good take.
Running from Kansas to South Dakota State University. 3-2. He got it. Well, it's about as much movement on a fastball at tailing variety as you'll see on a 97-mile-an-hour heater.
Yeah, boy. On the money, too. Downing that outside corner.
That's just a great pitch.
Yeah, it's tough because you can't sell out and cheat on that fastball because of the slider.
Rizzo bounces foul.
The Yankee game you referenced earlier is now 14-1. Jeremy Guthrie allowed 11 earned runs in 1 inning of work. He scored 8 in the first, and then 3 more in the second before he, without retiring a batter, charged to Guthrie. Gave up 4 home runs, 3 in the first inning. That'll put a hurting on the ERA.
Three balls and a strike.
Well, here we go. Hitters count. Al Bold was trying to want to be here on 3-1 to Rizzo in a 1-run ball game. I'm guessing not very, even with that good stuff.
Fair ball. Harper will retrieve it. Rizzo on his way to second. The throw there a little offline. Actually hit Anthony, I believe. 2-out double.
Rizzo had that big day in Phoenix a couple of days ago with 6 driven in. He'd been in a little bit of a mini funk prior to that, but he appears to be back. Hit a rocket first time up. You remember he took Harper all the way to the wall and right. Now he rips this 3-1 fastball into the corner for 2 bases. Would have been out in kickball. Good thing we're not playing kickball.
That'd be kind of interesting. It's maybe once a week. Instead of baseball, it's kickball.
Play with a softer ball and you can peg it at the guy.
Cubs could sign Robbie Gould. Here's Castro, and he bounces foul.
It's a big
run
thing
out
these
second.
days. It's a big thing in kickball. Young people are playing kickball.
Yeah.
My daughter's in a league down in Champaign.
Big fan.
Couple of ground balls to short for Starlin today. See if he can find a hole here. Whoop.
Line shot deep to center. Caught by Span. I thought that ball might take off on him, and he was able to grab it. Bad luck for Starlin. 2-1 Nationals. Solcat with Brett on the table as we get started in the 7th, and a bunt attempt by Taylor.
Oh,
Rizzo
no.
overran it. Jason Mott into the ball game. First pitch bunting. And I'm not sure what happened. He just whiffed on it.
Yeah, just in a day where defense has been so good, and a year in which Anthony Rizzo has stood out. Let's one get away from him here. Taylor has a lot of pace on that bunt, not intentionally, and he's trying to push that out towards second base.
So that'll be an error.
If he gets it airborne, he might have a double.
So the numbers for Jason Mott. Great to have with us Brett Eldridge.
Yeah.
Hi, Brett.
How you doing? So good to be here.
Paris, Illinois, yes?
Paris, Illinois native.
About 3 hours south of the city. Great to have you here at Wrigley. You will sing the stretch coming up. Another bunt attempt. Oh, Ross with a good effort.
Man.
Just couldn't quite hang on.
This reaction. Oh, so close. So big Cub fan growing up. Yes?
Huge Cubs fan, man. I can't tell you how. I mean, the first song I ever learned was the 7th inning stretch. So this is bucket list right here. This is coming full circle. I'm telling you, that first song, some of the first words probably was a 1 or 2. There you go.
So you've got a private show after the game. Big day for you.
Yep.
And you're touring with Darius Rucker, yes?
Darius Rucker. We've been we're on our second week of tour, and it's been very wild. Huge crowds, and it's somebody like Darius Rucker, just to be able to tour with him is pretty amazing feeling. I'm having a blast. Just waiting for the day to be able to play Wrigley. That's my ultimate bucket list.
Sure, yeah. Darius is a big sports fan, yes?
Huge sports fan. Huge sports fan. And he's a very good golfer. Way better golfer than I am, I can tell you that.
Guys get out and play a little bit?
I leave that up to him. I go fishing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be fishing. It's another bunt.
Ross to Russell. And Taylor now at second.
But yeah, I grew up coming to these games my whole life, and you know, this is a dream come true. They're playing my songs here at Wrigley Field. That's to the speakers. That's an all right feeling.
It is pretty cool. Who's your guy? So you have a favorite Cub?
Well, I'm wearing number 17, which when I grew up, Mark Grace was my man that started it out, and then I love Rizzo. I love Rizzo, just how big of a star he is now,
and Chris Bryant's wearing 17.
And I was going to say, and Bryant hit a home run right as I was wearing the jersey, so I was like, maybe this is the luck that I got to wear this jersey like for a whole week.
You've been in on Denard Span.
I played third base one time at one point in my life, but not like Chris, so I'm just going to leave it to him.
One to notice Span, the pitch pulled foul. Did FP Santangelo next door from the Nationals? Did he catch up with you?
What's that?
FP Santangelo does the Nationals.
I hadn't seen him over there.
Analysis on television. Make sure when you're done, he wants to get a selfie with you.
Okay.
He's a huge fan. He found out you were singing today. He said,
well, dang.
Can I meet him?
Heck yeah. It's a selfie world, man. I'm all about it. I'm all about taking a selfie with him.
That's a strike.
All right.
1-2. Musical influences.
Number one would be Frank Sinatra. My hero, my number one. Ray Charles, Brooks and Dunn, Vince Gill. Those are to name a few. I like the big vocalists, you know, and those are some of the people that just really inspired me. So, but Frank Sinatra, every time I come to Chicago,
kind of feel
my
Frank
kind of sound is playing through my head, you know. Always.
Still 1-2 on Span. 3 runs in this game, all home runs. An error by Rizzo here in the 7th, and the Nationals going to take advantage.
So when you were a kid, did you get up here often? Did you get to many games?
I sure did, and I listened to it almost every game in the summer on the radio, and just been a huge fan my whole life. My dad's a huge Cubs fan, and so I just love it out here, man. This is heaven on earth for me.
Russell will make the play. 2 outs. Taylor now at third.
Last time I was here, I was in the bleachers. That's always a good time. So good to be on this side of it. And,
different view up here.
It's a whole different view up here. I like it though. You always get to have a fun experience in the bleachers.
No doubt. Desmond. Infield hit in the first. Caught looking in the third and the fifth. All against the lefty Wada. And ball 1. Beautiful day to be out in the bleachers today.
I'll tell you that. I was worried for a little while, and then it'll be a perfect day for baseball right here.
In the air. You ready to sing, Brett?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Brett Eldridge with the stretch, and it is brought to you by Budweiser.
Guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ballgame, country artist and Chicago native Brett Eldridge.
All right, Cubs fans, let me hear ya. All 1, or 2, or 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. Forest Park, 3 strikes you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some rain.
Great job by Brett Eldridge. And as the Cubs trail here late, Blake Trinan against Jorge Soler. And a strike called. It's 1-1. A pop up.
You got it. I think it was off the toe. I think it bounced off his foot.
Did it?
Yeah, it was kind of funky. You know who Brett sounded like in the speaking voice? Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Comedian.
Right off his foot. He can sing too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, you get it again? Front door breaking ball. Got a piece of him as well. It's time to take umbrage and hit one into the seats.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Well, how do you get to Wrigley Field? The Cubs suggest you use public transportation. If you ride your bike, the Cubs offer a courtesy bike check located near Clark and Addison. If you drive, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. And remember, don't text and drive. For details, visit Cubs.com.
Lefty Matt Thornton up in the Nationals pen. Drew Storen is their closer. Sinker on Coughlin, ball one.
Surprise, surprise, the Cubs in another one-run game. They played a slew of them. Beat 4-3 yesterday.
Ground ball towards center, and it'll get through for a base hit. Good turn by Coughlin. Mike Baxter will bat for David Ross.
So this will be a 2-for-1. Baxter hitting for Ross, and then Montero will have to come into the game. And you might say, well, why doesn't he just hit with Montero here? Well, the lefty out in the pen. Joe probably doesn't want to see Thornton come into the game to pitch to Montero. We felt it was less likely that Williams would go to the lefty for Baxter. Put your spots on deck, and maybe Montero gets that turn.
You know how I know Brett Eldridge nailed the stretch? He's getting a lot of Twitter love, and that's very rare. This could be two, and it is. The hard way, 3-6-1. Two scoreless innings for Blake Trinan. 2-1 Washington. Span, Bryant, Ramos all with home runs. So Yoshiwada pretty good today, 5 1/3, 1 run allowed, as he will get a no decision. Honda Dream Garage Sales event now at your Honda dealer. We're in the 8th inning. New battery starting with Miguel Montero, the catcher, and he will lead off the bottom of the 8th for the Cubs. And this is left-hander Zach Roskup on the mound.
Roskup 1-1, suffered the loss Friday night in Arizona in the 13th inning ball game, allowed a couple hits and a run. ERA up to 4.32 now. Jack has allowed runs in 5 of his last 9 appearances.
Escobar bounces foul. Too high that time.
3 home runs in the ball game, but not the offense we expected with the wind blowing out on a hot, steamy day. We've had a handful of games like that here where we thought there was going to be a lot of points go up on the board, and the pitcher's done a nice job.
Two, and it's now full. Ended up being a foul ball as Escobar simply was trying to get out of the way.
Escobar had a reputation of being a bit of a free swinger, but the numbers don't back that up. Better than league average with walk rate in his career, and strikeout rate way better than league average.
Up right side. The sun now an issue along with the wind. And Soler makes a catch. MLB.TV Premium is #1 for streaming live sports. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Here's Harper with 1 out.
Drop a bunt down against a lefty. He wouldn't do it with a right-handed pitcher on the mound.
Williams played over 2,000 games in the outfield, mostly with the Cubs, just a little bit with the A's to finish his career. And most of it was in left, but he did play over 300 games in right. And he can tell you how tough right field is in this ballpark. Wind, sun, bricks, bullpen mound. If you're a visiting player, once the bleachers are done, fans yelling at you.
Yeah.
If you're a home player and you're 0 for 3, home fans yelling at you, it's not easy. Swing and a miss. 3-2 on Harper. is outside for ball 4. Only take his walk. It's something that Parker has been really good at this year, not chasing those pitches.
His walk rate is way up. Best in the league, I believe. You can look it up.
He leads the majors in walks. It was his 40th walk. So 45 games and 40 walks. His career high is 61. He's going to blow past that probably well before the All-Star break. The pitch to Zimmerman. Bounce to Russell. It'll take him right to second. A 4-3 double play. And the Nationals are finished in the 8th. They lead the Cubs 2-1. A run. And here is veteran Matt Thornton here in the bottom of the 8th. Blake Trinan 2 scoreless innings after Roark went 5 and gave up just 1.
Good numbers for Thornton so far this year with a 2.61 ERA. Spent a lot of time on the south side after coming up with the Mariners. Quite have the giddy up on the fastball that he used to, but he still throws pretty hard.
He's a Midwest guy. Born in Three Rivers, Michigan, went to Grand Valley State. And ball 1 on Miguel Montero came in to catch in the top of this 8th. Montero homered yesterday at Arizona. 2-0.
Might be a one and done performance here for Thornton this afternoon.
Pops into shallow right. Espinosa was already pretty deep at his second base position and makes a catch.
Who else is going to pitch in this series? Well, it doesn't get a whole lot easier, does it? Jordan Zimmerman tomorrow. Kyle Hendricks coming off a complete game shutout. Will go for the Cubs. And then, boy, what a matchup on Wednesday. The 2 most sought-after free agents in the pitching market, any market for that matter, this past offseason, Scherzer and Lester.
Aaron Barrett, a right-hander, in to face Addison Russell. 2-1 Nationals. Last year, this is number 22 here in 2015.
Yeah, good strikeout numbers. 16 innings. He has struck out 22 against 5 walks. He's not allowed a home run yet. Pretty dependable for Matt Williams.
Another guy from the Midwest, product of Evansville, Indiana. Wabash Valley College and Ole Miss. Nobody on, 1 out. The pitch to Addison Russell. A little bit above the belt for ball 1. That is a strike as we look at the Nationals bullpen availability.
It's like the Wheel of Fortune used letterboard. Race from the left side. Jansen just recently off the DL. Jordan and the closer Storen from the right side. Ooh, man, that's a disappearing slider. A quick action, a little lane changer.
Barrett drafted out of high school, 44th round by the Dodgers. He went to Wabash Valley College in Illinois. Twins took him in the 20th round. Didn't sign. Rangers took him in the 27th round. Didn't sign. Then went to Mississippi. Nationals made him a 9th rounder. And he did sign. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Good action on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. With the sliders off the plate. A little two-seam runner moving in on Russell, and he can't get the barrel to it. Must be a thing with Evansville. Big right-handers. That's where the Dennis boys are from.
Fowler will try to keep the inning alive for Bryant. Strike 1.
Zimmerman tight to the line at first. Outfield playing very deep. Ooh. Maybe Dexter catches a break here. Now take advantage.
Ball into center. You saw Span go back. but then had to come in and over a bit into left center, and that will end the inning. Cubs go down in order. Off to the ninth, 2-1 for the visitors. Runs.
Well, Hector 2-0 with a 379. He's converted 9 of 12 save opportunities. I didn't get away from him Friday night in Phoenix. Gave up the big home run to Paul Goldschmidt. I'm sure he's anxious to get back out there and get back on track.
Almost bounces to third. It's his home run that gave them the lead. Heard Montero the other day talk about Hector and said, you know, with runners on base, a lot of times as a closer, clearly it's in big spots. Hector kind of gets ahead of himself, and that's, you know, the one thing you talk about with hitters and with pitchers in big moments is to try to slow down the heart rate instead of speed it up. Yeah. And I'm talking with Chris Bosio, the pitching coach. Rondon likes to work from the windup. He said he has a really good rhythm from the windup, and the key is to keep him from going too fast from the stretch. And we were talking today. I don't know who it is. You always find out generally who the first guy to do whatever. You know, first guy to wear a goalie mask, first guy to wear a helmet, whatever. Do you know who the first
to work exclusively
to work exclusive? Because somebody did it, and then another guy did it, and now just about everybody does it.
I don't know who the first one was.
And it stands out to me when you see short relievers, particularly closers, who don't go exclusively from the stretch. Hector very comfortable from the windup. Popped up by Espinosa. Bryant in front of the mound makes a play.
Well, let's see who's left in the Cubs bullpen. Grim Roskop, Mott, Rondon now working. So Russell Wood, Jackson Strope. 2 from the left side, 2 from the right. Man's got a lot of balance out there now with 3 southpaws. So I think the challenge for Rondon with men on base is just to slow down everything, just kind of take an extra breath between pitches.
cutter there. And Taylor. Slider a little low. Backed up a little bit. Taylor could only just get a piece of it. Cubs have been involved in a bunch of one-run games. They're 12-9. So almost half, 21 out of their first 43 have been decided by a run. And it's 2-1 in this one. Swing and a miss to end the inning. Rondon with a 1-2-3. Drew Storen against the Cubs. Heart of the order when we come back. A run. And the Nationals closer Drew Storen, another Midwest native, Brownsburg, Indiana, went on to Stanford, and he'll face Chris Bryant to start it.
Boy, he's been nails. 14 out of 15 in save opportunities, but the league hitting just 188 against him. 25 strikeouts against just 3 walks. Fastball slider change.
Swing and a miss. Remember Storen from his early days in the big leagues. He had a much different delivery with the leg kick. His leg was very straight. His left foot was pointed almost straight up in the air. It was rather unique.
Yeah, he led with that heel, and
yep.
Now he's gone to a Clayton Kershaw type delivery. Picture Kershaw obviously from the other side, a left-hander, but up and down and then glide that front leg. This caused a little timing issue for the hitter too, that little hesitation.
2 strikes on Bryant. Storen leading the National League with his 14 saves. The right field line, the wind's going to hold it up a little bit, and not enough, fortunately, for Harper to have a shot at it.
Well, you know, saves are a bit of an overrated statistic, but when you look at all the other numbers that go along with it, Drew Storen is having a very good year. would qualify as a pretty tough save. A 1-run ball game, 2-3-4 due up here for the Cubs.
Pitch.
Slider didn't have a whole lot going on. Chris would like another whack at that one.
Storen went to high school with Lance Lynn in Brownsburg, Indiana. Another foul, count holding.
Storen somewhat unique in that he is a true 3-pitch pitcher as a closer. He uses his changeup as well as his slider.
It hit him. No, it hit the bat. So we go from a hit batter to a strikeout on a foul tip. And Joe Madden asking for help. So the other umpires are going to chime in. Ryan Blackney will get some help. Let's see.
I couldn't tell. I thought first time I saw it, I thought it hit the bat. The second time I thought it brushed his hand.
You see Blackney saying, I got foul tip. Off the bat, right into the glove, which would be a strikeout.
And asking if anybody's seen anything different. They're going to take a look.
Well, this is huge. Goes from the tying run on base with nobody out to 1 out, nobody on. And will we be able to tell?
That doesn't help much, does it? That look?
I think it might be. I don't know if they're going to be able to overturn this.
I don't think so.
And I will give Ryan Blackney the benefit of the doubt. And Chris Bryant, I mean, he thought it hit him, but if you're the home plate umpire, you hear something, you're
right.
taking an educated guess.
Right. That's right. As a hitter, you want to sell it. You want to drop the bat, shake the hand, and let everybody in the world know you got hit.
See, Chris Bryant is an earnest guy, and I think his natural reaction was to walk to first.
I'm with you.
Sadly, the guys in New York can't say, well, Chris Bryant is very believable.
Yeah, they don't have a.
So we're going to give him the base.
They don't have a file on every pitcher and every player in the game where they could check the believability factor. Well, they're going to give it to him.
They gave it to him. That is huge. I'm pleasantly surprised. So here's Rizzo.
Yeah. Here we go.
Inside ball one. All these Cub fans. Clearly it hit him in the hand. I saw it. You didn't see it? No, I didn't.
They're watching on big screen
I would have
television.
guessed. Yeah, I would have guessed that it hit him, but. I guess the other question is, in New York, are you determining it's bat or hand? You can't determine it hit nothing, right? Is that an option?
I don't know.
The pitch outside. Well, let's see. It would have been 3-2 anyway, so it would have been a walk, I guess. So same difference. It hit nothing. Well, they need at least one. Popped up. Desmond makes a catch. Probably they get an out either way, as Bryant really couldn't stray too far from first in case that ball was caught. Joe could send Bryant here at some point. Not saying he will, but he could. Let's take one last look at what New York may have seen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it hit something. Yeah.
Fly ball. Right halfway. Castro out. And it's up to Soler.
Yeah, so if you're doing the math here, if you're trying to sort this out, if you're Joe Madden, you're trying to steal a base here with Bryant, I think with Soler hitting at his extra base power, probably going to wait. And then if Soler gets into a defensive count, then maybe take a gamble and send Bryant.
Ball straight. That is a strike as well.
Yeah, so down in the count, 2 strikes, less likely to do damage, and that's why you start to think about maybe trying to steal a bag here. You could score on a single.
Always hate to get the guy thrown out trying to steal a base to end the game, but we're down to their final chance here. Not running. Too bad. Yeah, would have gotten him.
Yeah, it's a tough way to end the game, but for me, and Joe Madden's kind of got that gambler's mentality. He's not afraid to try it. If he thinks, he's basing his decision on Storen's times at home plate. If they just feel like Storen's too quick to home, then they're going to shut it down.
1-2 on Soler. Here it is. 2-2. Coughlin on deck. In some ways, you feel like it's not going to be a tie. It's going to be a home run or a strikeout. Maybe an all or nothing situation. Wind is howling straight out to center. Swing and a miss on a fastball, and that'll do it. So the Nationals hang on, and the Cubs drop their second in a row by just a run. The final score from Wrigley Field, the Nationals 2 and the Cubs 1. We'll be back.